I'm your host, and today we're doing something that can genuinely change the way you speak English in real life. This is not a random collection of phrases. This is a daily life English conversations masterclass designed to help you move from B1 and B2 fluency into the kind of confident, natural English you hear from strong C1 and C2 speakers. Not perfect, not robotic, not textbook, real. Here's how to use this lesson so it actually works. Don't just listen. Listen once, then repeat out loud. Even if your voice feels quiet at first, even if you're not sure about the rhythm, your mouth needs training, not just your brain. And if you want the fastest results, write down 3 phrases you like and use them today in your own life, in a message, at work, or in a conversation. Before we begin, take 1 second to support the channel. If you enjoy these long, practical English lessons, like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next episode. And leave a comment with your country and your current level, B1, B2, C1, or C2. I read the comments, and it helps me create lessons that match what you really need. Now, take a slow breath, drop your shoulders, relax your face, because fluent English doesn't come from tension. It comes from calm repetition. Let's start at the beginning of a normal day. But today, you're going to live that day in English. You wake up, you message someone, you talk to people, you handle small problems, you make plans, you explain things, you react, you ask questions, you disagree politely, you show emotions, and you keep the conversation moving. And the goal is simple. You're training your mind to respond in English without translating. So let's open with something that seems basic, but it's where fluency starts. Greetings that sound natural. You already know, hello. You already know, how are you? But fluent speakers rarely stay there. They add warmth, context, and a natural rhythm. Repeat after me, softly and clearly. Hey, it's good to see you. Hi. How's it going? Morning. How are things? Hey. How's your day been so far? Hi there. How's everything on your end? Now let's upgrade that slightly, because B2 to C1 is often about small upgrades that make you sound smoother. Good to see you. How have you been doing? How have things been lately? How's life treating you these days? It's been a minute. What have you been up to? Notice the tone. It's relaxed, friendly, and it invites a real answer. Now imagine you're greeting someone in a more professional setting. Not stiff, just polished. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hi, thanks for making the time. Hey, I hope your week's going well. Good afternoon. How's your day shaping up? Repeat one more time. How's your day shaping up? That phrase sounds simple, but it's the kind of phrase that lifts your English instantly. Now, once you greet someone, the next thing that happens in real life is small talk. People talk about their day, their morning, what's going on. So, let's practice natural ways to answer the question people ask all the time. How's your day going? At B1 level, many people say, it's good, it's okay, fine. But you're here to go further. Here are responses that sound real, and they work in daily life. It's been pretty smooth so far. It's been a bit hectic, to be honest, but I'm getting through it. It started off stressful, but it's settling down now. I've been busy, but in a good way, not bad. Just trying to stay on top of things. Now, choose one and repeat it out loud. It started off stressful, but it's settling down now. Again, slower. It started off stressful, but it's settling down now. That sentence trains you to connect sounds and keep a calm flow. Now, let's add something that turns a basic answer into an interesting answer. A short detail. One small detail is enough. It's been pretty smooth so far. I've just been catching up on a few things. I've been busy, but I'm making progress. It's been a bit hectic, but I've had some good moments today. Repeat this one. I've been busy, but I'm making progress. Now let's keep moving through your morning. In real life, someone might ask, "What have you been up to today?" Or, "How was your morning?" And again, we want natural responses, not textbook sentences. I had a productive morning. I got a lot done earlier. I spent most of the morning handling errands. I've been catching up on emails and tasks. I had a slow start, but I'm more focused now. Now, let's upgrade with stronger, more advanced phrasing. Not complicated, just more native-like. I managed to knock out a few important tasks. I've been trying to get ahead of the week. I've been tied up with a few things, but it's under control. I've been bouncing between meetings all morning. Repeat 1. I managed to knock out a few important tasks. Good. Now you're not just describing your day, you're sounding like someone who lives in English. Now, let's practice one of the biggest skills that separates B2 from C1. Giving your opinion with nuance. Not just yes or no. Not just I think. First, asking for opinions in a natural way. What do you think about it? How do you feel about that? What's your take on it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Where do you stand on this? Now repeat. What's your take on it? That phrase is extremely common. Now, giving your opinion. Start simple. Then move up. Honestly, I think it's a good idea. Personally, I'm leaning toward the first option. From my perspective, it makes sense. The way I see it, it could work well. Now practice. The way I see it, it could work well. Now, what if you want to disagree, but you want to sound calm and respectful? This is high-level communication. I see what you mean, but I'm not fully convinced. That's a fair point. I just see it a little differently. I get where you're coming from. I just have another perspective. I understand the logic, but I'm not sure it would work in practice. Repeat this one slowly, because it's powerful. I get where you're coming from. I just have another perspective. That one sentence can upgrade your English in meetings, discussions, and daily life conversations. Now, real conversations are not perfect. Sometimes you forget something. Sometimes there's a small problem. Sometimes you need to explain what happened. Here's the key. Fluent speakers don't panic. They use calm connectors. So basically, the thing is, what happened was, to be honest, long story short. Now watch how natural these sound in daily life. So basically, I thought I had the keys, but I left them inside. The thing is, I'm running a little behind today. What happened was, I got stuck in traffic and everything shifted. To be honest, I didn't plan this very well. Long story short, I had to reschedule. Repeat. The thing is, I'm running a little behind today. Now we're going to practice building a full, natural explanation. This is where fluency grows. Listen and repeat. The thing is, I started my day a bit late, so I'm still catching up. What happened was, my schedule changed last minute, and I had to adjust. So basically, I had a few unexpected things come up this morning. Now choose one and say it out loud. So basically, I had a few unexpected things come up this morning. Good. That sentence is calm, natural, and extremely usable. Now, as your day continues, you'll constantly need to make requests. Asking someone to do something. Asking for help. Asking for information. And in English, the difference between sounding rude and sounding fluent is often the softness. Here are daily life request patterns you will use everywhere. Could you help me with this for a second? Do you mind if I ask you something? Would you be able to send that to me? Could you walk me through it quickly? When you get a chance, could you take a look at this? Now repeat. When you get a chance, could you take a look at this? That phrase is gold for work and daily life. Now let's practice in a cafe, because cafes are real-life English practice zones. Could I get a latte, please? I'll have a cappuccino, please. Could you make that decaf? Do you have oat milk by any chance? Could I get that to go? Now upgrade slightly. Because see, one speakers often add polite extras. Could I get a latte, please? And could you make it medium? I'll have a cappuccino, please. And no sugar, thanks. Do you mind making it extra hot? If it's possible. Could you do that with oat milk? Repeat one. If it's possible. Could you do that with oat milk? Now, what if something goes wrong? You get the wrong order. The service isn't what you expected. You need to solve it politely. Use calm language. I think there might be a small mistake. I'm not sure this is what I ordered. This doesn't seem quite right. Could you help me fix this? Is there any way we could sort this out? Repeat. Is there any way we could sort this out? That's fluent. That's polite. That works everywhere. Now, we're going to practice something that pushes you closer to C2. Emotional precision. Not dramatic, just accurate. Instead of good, bad, tired, stressed, you'll use richer everyday English. I'm feeling pretty energized today. I'm a bit drained. Honestly, I'm running low on energy. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I've got a lot on my plate right now. I'm in a good headspace today. I feel a bit on edge. Repeat this one. I've got a lot on my plate right now. Now, when you share a feeling, a real conversation continues. People respond with empathy. Here are natural responses that make you sound emotionally intelligent. That sounds tough. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I get it. That can be a lot. I'm glad you told me. That makes sense. Anyone would feel that way. I hope things get easier soon. Repeat. That makes sense. Anyone would feel that way. Now, let's move to plans. This is daily life. People invite you. You accept. You decline. You reschedule. Inviting naturally. Do you want to grab coffee later? Are you free this evening? Do you feel like going out this weekend? Would you be up for lunch tomorrow? Repeat. Would you be up for lunch tomorrow? Now. Accepting. Yeah, I'd love that. That sounds great. What time? Sure. I'm in. Count me in. Repeat. Count me in. Now, declining politely, because this is where many learners struggle. I'd love to, but I already have plans. Thanks for inviting me. But I can't make it this time. I really appreciate it, but I'm tied up today. I'm not going to be able to, but maybe another day. Repeat. I really appreciate it, but I'm tied up today. Now add a friendly follow-up to keep the relationship warm. I'm tied up today, but how about later this week? I can't make it tonight, but I'm free on Friday. Not today, but I'd love to plan something soon. Repeat. Not today, but I'd love to plan something soon. Now, you're not just speaking English. You're building real social fluency. Now we continue through your day, and something will happen that always happens in real life. A misunderstanding. You didn't hear something. You didn't understand. Or, someone misunderstood you. And fluent speakers handle it smoothly. With zero embarrassment. Here are the phrases you need. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say that again? Would you mind repeating that? Could you speak a little more slowly? Just to make sure I understand, you mean, repeat this one carefully. Just to make sure I understand, you mean. Now, when you want to clarify your own meaning, use these. What I meant was, let me rephrase that. Maybe I didn't explain it clearly. Let me put it another way. Repeat. Let me put it another way. Perfect. That phrase is a true C1 level tool. We're going to keep building from here. We'll move into deeper daily conversations, like giving reasons with stronger structure, telling short stories from your day, talking about experiences, handling workplace discussions, using natural filler phrases without sounding nervous, expressing agreement and disagreement with confidence, and learning how to sound calm, clear, and natural in almost any situation. And as you listen, remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to practice the same real phrases again and again until they feel like yours. Now, let's go a little deeper. Because daily life English is not just about having phrases. It's about knowing how to keep a conversation going without freezing, without translating, and without sounding too basic. So, in this next part, we're going to practice 3 powerful skills that move you towards C1 and C2 fluency. First, how to add natural detail. Second, how to sound organized when you explain something. Third, how to keep the conversation flowing with smooth follow-up questions. Let's begin with adding natural detail. When people ask you simple questions, fluent speakers rarely give one-word answers. They give a short answer, plus a small extra detail. Not a long story, just enough to sound real. Imagine someone asks, "How was your weekend?" Basic answer, "It was good." Stronger answer, "It was good. I mostly took it easy." Even stronger, "It was good. I spent most of it recharging." Now repeat, "It was good. I spent most of it recharging." That phrase, recharging, is very common in modern English. Now try these. "It was pretty relaxing. I needed that." "It was busy, but it was productive." "It was fun. I ended up meeting a few friends." "It was decent. Nothing crazy. Just a quiet weekend." "It was a bit of a mixed bag, honestly." Repeat this one. "It was a bit of a mixed bag, honestly." That sounds very natural. Not too formal, not too casual. Perfect daily English. Now, let's practice a powerful pattern used by advanced speakers. They use contrast. "It was tiring, but in a good way." "It was stressful at first, but it got better." "It wasn't perfect, but I made it work." "It took longer than expected, but I got it done." Repeat, "It took longer than expected, but I got it done." Now let's apply that to your daily life. Think of something you did recently. Maybe you cleaned, studied, worked, cooked, traveled, or solved a small problem. Now, describe it with contrast. For example, "I didn't feel like going out, but I'm glad I did." "I was nervous about it, but it turned out fine." "I didn't have much time, but I managed to handle it." Repeat one of those slowly, like you're speaking to a real person. "I didn't have much time, but I managed to handle it." Good. That sentence is strong. Now, let's move to the second skill, sounding organized when you explain something. This is where people jump from B2 into C1. Because when you can explain clearly, you sound confident, smart, and natural. Here are 3 simple structures. First, you introduce the situation. Then, you explain the problem. Then, you describe the solution or the result. And you'll use natural connectors. So, here's the situation. The main issue was. So what I did was. Now, repeat. So what I did was. That connector is extremely helpful. Now let's build real examples. So, here's the situation. I was supposed to meet someone, but my schedule shifted. The main issue was that I didn't have enough time. So, what I did was, I pushed it back and let them know early. Repeat that, sentence by sentence. So, here's the situation. The main issue was that I didn't have enough time. So what I did was I pushed it back and let them know early. You hear how smooth and logical it feels. Now, here are more natural starters for explaining. To be honest, the problem was. The reason I'm saying this is. What made it difficult was. The truth is, if I'm being honest. Repeat this one. What made it difficult was. Now let's practice with daily life problems. Because problems happen all the time. Imagine you were late. Instead of just saying, "Sorry, I'm late," you can add a calm explanation. "Sorry, I'm running a bit behind. Traffic was heavier than I expected." "Sorry, I'm late. My morning got away from me." "Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Something came up last minute." Repeat. My morning got away from me. That phrase is very natural. Now imagine you forgot something. I just realized I left my charger at home. I completely forgot to bring it with me. It slipped my mind. Repeat. It slipped my mind. Now, you will also need to apologize politely. Not dramatically. Just mature. I'm sorry about that. My apologies. That's on me. I take full responsibility for that. Thanks for your patience. Repeat. That's on me. Now let's combine. This is where your English becomes powerful. I'm sorry about that. That's on me. It slipped my mind this morning. Repeat slowly. I'm sorry about that. That's on me. It slipped my mind this morning. That is real-life English, very usable. Now, the third skill. Keeping conversations flowing with follow-up questions. Many learners answer, then stop. Then the conversation dies. Fluent speakers keep it alive by asking something back, and they do it naturally. Here are follow-up questions you can use all the time. How about you? What about you? How's it going on your side? How have things been for you lately? What's been keeping you busy? How's that been going for you? Repeat. What's been keeping you busy? That question sounds so natural. Now let's practice. Imagine someone says, "Work has been stressful." You can respond with empathy, plus a follow-up. That sounds stressful. What's been causing it? I'm sorry to hear that. Is it workload or something else? That's tough. Has it been like that for a while? Repeat 1. That's tough. Has it been like that for a while? Great. That is exactly how real conversations sound. Now imagine someone says, "I'm learning English." Instead of saying, "Good," you can say, "That's awesome. What are you focusing on right now?" Nice. What's been helping you the most? Good for you. What's your biggest challenge so far? Repeat. What's your biggest challenge so far? Now, because this is English in motion, I want you to use these phrases actively while you listen. So here's a quick interaction practice. I will say a line. You respond out loud with a natural reply. Even if you're alone, speak. Ready? I'll say, "Hey, how's your day going?" You reply out loud with one phrase. For example, "It's been busy, but I'm managing. How about you?" Now let's do it again. "Hey, how's your day going?" You respond. Now, I'll say, "What have you been up to lately?" You reply. Now, I'll say, "I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed recently." You reply with empathy and a question. For example, "I'm sorry you're dealing with that. What's been the main stress lately?" Now repeat. What's been the main stress lately? Good. Very natural. Now, let's move into something that makes you sound truly advanced, talking about reasons and decisions, without sounding repetitive. Many learners overuse because. Fluent speakers use variety. Here are natural alternatives. Since, because of, due to. That's why. The main reason is, part of the reason is. It comes down to. Repeat. It comes down to. That phrase is very high level and very common. Now practice these real examples. I decided to stay in tonight since I need some rest. The main reason I changed plans is that I'm running behind. It comes down to time. I just don't have enough. Today, part of the reason I'm doing this is to stay consistent. Repeat. It comes down to time. I just don't have enough today. Now, decisions. In daily life, you decide things constantly. Instead of saying, "I chose this," try, "I ended up going with," "I decided to go with," "I went for the simpler option," "I changed my mind at the last second," "I was torn between two choices." Repeat this one. I was torn between two choices. Now use it with something real. I was torn between going out and staying in. I was torn between two options, so I asked for advice. I was torn, but I went with what felt more practical. Repeat. I was torn, but I went with what felt more practical. Now we're going to train a very natural C1 and C2 habit, using hesitation phrases smoothly. Not too many, just enough to sound human. Well, let me think. Actually, to be honest, honestly, if I'm being real, that's a good question. Repeat. That's a good question. Now use it in a response. That's a good question. I think it depends. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. That's a good question. I haven't decided yet. Repeat. That's a good question. I think it depends. That one phrase can save you in any conversation. Now, let's move into a slightly more advanced daily life topic. Expressing expectations versus reality. This is where your English becomes more expressive and more mature. Here are natural patterns. I thought it would be. I expected it to be. I was hoping it would, but it turned out. But it ended up, but honestly, it was. Repeat. But it ended up being. Now practice. I thought it would be quick, but it ended up taking longer. I expected it to be stressful, but it turned out pretty smooth. I was hoping it would work out, but it didn't go as planned. Repeat. I expected it to be stressful, but it turned out pretty smooth. Now, here's a challenge sentence, but it's worth it. I didn't expect it to go that well, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Repeat slowly. I didn't expect it to go that well, but I'm pleasantly surprised. That phrase, pleasantly surprised, is extremely natural. Now let's move into something that will take your English from I can communicate to I sound natural. And that skill is storytelling. Not long stories, short daily stories, the kind you tell at work, with friends, or even with a stranger when you're making small talk. A strong C1 or C2 speaker can take a simple event and describe it in a way that feels smooth, clear, and interesting. And you can do that too, using a simple structure. Here's the structure. Set the scene. Say what happened. Add one small detail. Share the result or reaction. And you'll use natural storytelling phrases. So, the other day, earlier today, this morning, on my way to, I was just about to, out of nowhere. Long story short, repeat after me. Out of nowhere, long story short. Now, let's practice a mini story you can use in real life. Listen and repeat. So, the other day, I was on my way to work, and out of nowhere, my phone died. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I realized I needed it for my schedule. Long story short, I had to figure everything out from memory. Now repeat slowly, one sentence at a time. So, the other day, I was on my way to work, and out of nowhere, my phone died. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I realized I needed it for my schedule. Long story short, I had to figure everything out from memory. That is natural storytelling. It's not dramatic, it's just real. Now let's give you more daily mini stories that sound native and practical. Earlier today, I went to grab coffee, and they got my order wrong. It wasn't a huge issue, but I didn't want to waste it. So I just asked them politely, and they fixed it right away. Repeat. It wasn't a huge issue, but I didn't want to waste it. Now one more. This morning, I woke up feeling tired, so I decided to take things slower. I still got everything done, but I didn't rush myself. Honestly, it made the whole day feel better. Repeat. Honestly, it made the whole day feel better. Now, here's the key. When you tell a story, your English becomes more natural if you include reactions. Not big reactions, real reactions. Here are daily reaction phrases native speakers use. I was so relieved. I was honestly annoyed. I didn't know what to do at first. I couldn't believe it. I wasn't expecting that. It caught me off guard. I was like, seriously. Repeat. It caught me off guard. Now use it in a sentence. It caught me off guard, but I handled it. Repeat. It caught me off guard, but I handled it. Now let's practice reacting to good news and bad news, because this comes up constantly. If someone tells you good news, don't just say, nice. Say something warmer. That's amazing. I'm really happy for you. No way. That's awesome news. That's great. You must be thrilled. I love that for you. Repeat. You must be thrilled. Now, if someone tells you bad news, don't just say, that's bad. That's tough. I'm sorry you're going through that. That sounds really frustrating. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you okay? That must have been stressful. Repeat. That sounds really frustrating. Now, another big daily life skill is describing your progress. This is perfect for English learners because you can talk about your own journey in English. Here are natural progress phrases. I'm getting more comfortable with it. I'm making steady progress. I'm slowly getting the hang of it. It's still a work in progress, but I'm improving. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there. Repeat this one. I'm slowly getting the hang of it. Now use it with something real. I'm slowly getting the hang of speaking more confidently. I'm slowly getting the hang of understanding fast conversations. Repeat 1. I'm slowly getting the hang of understanding fast conversations. Now, let's move into a daily life situation that many learners find difficult. Talking on the phone. Phone English feels harder because you can't see the person's face, so you need clear phrases. Let's practice phone openings. Hi. This is calling about. Hi. I'm calling to ask about. Hello. I was hoping you could help me with something. Hi. Is this a good time? Repeat. I was hoping you could help me with something. Now. Asking for repetition on the phone. Sorry. The line's a bit unclear. Could you repeat that, please? I didn't catch the last part. Could you say that one more time? Repeat. I didn't catch the last part. Now, ending a call politely. Thanks for your help. I really appreciate your time. That answers my question. Thank you. Perfect. Thanks again, and have a great day. Repeat. I really appreciate your time. Now, let's move into work and professional daily life conversations. This is where your English needs to sound clear, calm, and confident. We'll start with something simple. Starting a conversation at work. Hey, do you have a minute? Quick question when you have a second. Do you have a moment to talk? Can I run something by you? Repeat. Can I run something by you? Now, asking for clarity at work. Just to clarify, are we saying, I want to make sure I'm following? So, to confirm, we're going to, can you walk me through the next steps? Repeat. I want to make sure I'm following. Now, giving updates. This is extremely common. Here's where many learners say, I finished. But let's upgrade that. I've made good progress on it. I'm almost done with it. I'm wrapping it up now. I should have it ready by the end of the day. I'm still working on it, but it's moving forward. Repeat. I'm wrapping it up now. Now, if there's a delay, you can say it professionally, without sounding negative. It's taking a bit longer than expected. I ran into a small issue, but I'm working through it. I might need a little more time on this. There's been a slight delay, but I'll keep you posted. Repeat. I ran into a small issue, but I'm working through it. Now, one of the most important advanced skills. Making suggestions politely at work or in daily life. Instead of saying, do this, try, maybe we could, one option might be, have you considered, it might be worth, what if we, repeat, it might be worth, now practice, it might be worth checking the details one more time. One option might be to push it to tomorrow. Maybe we could simplify the plan. Repeat 1. One option might be to push it to tomorrow. Now, disagreeing professionally. I see your point, but I'm a little concerned about. That makes sense. I just wonder if. I understand the idea. I'm not sure it's the best approach. I'm open to it, but can we think through the risks? Repeat, I'm open to it, but can we think through the risks? That sentence sounds high-level, calm, and professional. Now, let's shift back to daily life, social situations. Because fluency means you can speak naturally anywhere. Ordering food, chatting with neighbors, talking with friends, talking with strangers. Here's a powerful skill: ending conversations politely without sounding cold. All right, I should get going. I won't keep you. But it was great talking to you. I've got to run. But let's catch up soon. It was really nice seeing you. Take care. Repeat, I won't keep you, but it was great talking to you. Now, another advanced daily life skill is how to sound confident when you're not sure. Because fluent speakers don't panic when they're unsure. They speak smoothly anyway. Here are uncertainty phrases that sound mature. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not 100% on that. I'd have to double check. I'm still figuring it out. I don't have the full picture yet. Repeat, I'd have to double check. Now, confidence phrases. This is where you sound strong. I'm confident about that. I'm pretty sure. I'm certain. I have a good feeling about it. I'm convinced that. Repeat, I have a good feeling about it. Now we're going to practice a quick daily life interaction using everything you've learned. Imagine you're talking to a coworker. They ask, how's it going? You answer and add a detail. It's been busy, but I'm making progress. I'm wrapping up a few things now. Repeat that. It's been busy, but I'm making progress. I'm wrapping up a few things now. Now they say, are we still meeting at 3? You respond with clarity. I believe so, but I'd have to double-check the calendar. I'll confirm in a minute. Repeat, I believe so, but I'd have to double-check the calendar. I'll confirm in a minute. Now they say, can you send me the file? You respond politely. Sure. When you get a chance, could you remind me which version you need? Repeat, when you get a chance, could you remind me which version you need? Excellent. That's real English. Let's keep going. Now we're going to refine something that makes a huge difference at the C1 and C2 level, and that's tone. Not grammar, not vocabulary lists, tone. The way you say something so it sounds calm, polite, and confident, even when the situation is stressful. A lot of learners can say the right words, but the tone comes out too direct, too sharp, or too flat, and native speakers feel that immediately. So let's practice softening phrases. These are small words that make you sound more human and more natural. A few softeners you'll hear constantly are just a bit, kind of, sort of, maybe, actually, and I was wondering. Repeat after me. I was wondering if. Now let's use it. I was wondering if you could help me for a second. I was wondering if you had a minute. I was wondering if it would be possible to reschedule. Repeat 1. I was wondering if it would be possible to reschedule. Now, another phrase that sounds extremely natural is, do you happen to? Do you happen to have a charger? Do you happen to know the time? Do you happen to have a moment? Repeat. Do you happen to have a moment? Now, there's also a very common style of polite request that sounds smooth and professional. Would it be possible to? Would you be open to? Do you think we could? Repeat. Would you be open to? Now use it. Would you be open to moving the meeting to tomorrow? Would you be open to a quick call later? Would you be open to trying a different approach? Repeat. Would you be open to trying a different approach? Now, let's talk about something real. Setting boundaries. This is daily life English. Work, friends, family. You need to set boundaries politely. And C1 and C2 speakers can do it without sounding rude. Here are natural boundary phrases. I'd love to, but I can't commit to that right now. I'm not available today, but I can do tomorrow. I might need to pass on this one. I don't think I can take that on at the moment. I'd rather not, if that's okay. Repeat this. I don't think I can take that on at the moment. Now, If you want to sound even more gentle, add appreciation. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I don't think I can take that on right now. Thanks for asking, but I'm going to have to pass this time. That sounds great, but I'm not able to make it work today. Repeat. Thanks for asking, but I'm going to have to pass this time. Now, daily life also includes small conflicts, not big fights, small disagreements, misunderstandings, different expectations. The goal in English is to keep it calm and clear. Here are phrases to bring the temperature down. I don't want this to turn into a big thing. I think we might be on different pages. Maybe there's been a misunderstanding. Let's take a step back for a second. Can we talk this through? Repeat. I think we might be on different pages. Now, if someone says something that feels unfair, you can respond with calm language. I hear you, but I see it differently. I understand what you're saying, but that's not how it came across to me. I'm not trying to argue. I just want to be clear. Repeat. I'm not trying to argue. I just want to be clear. That sentence is incredibly useful. Now let's practice giving feedback. Feedback is daily life. You give feedback at work. You respond to someone's idea. You talk about plans. You share an opinion. The difference between B2 and C1 is how you balance honesty and politeness. Here are natural feedback starters. To be honest, I think it's a solid idea. I like the direction, but I have one concern. That's a good start. We might just need to tweak a few things. I see what you're aiming for. Maybe we can make it a bit clearer. Repeat. I like the direction, but I have one concern. Now, let's practice a more advanced pattern. Positive, then suggestion. I really like the idea. Maybe we could simplify the first part. You did a great job with the structure. What if we made the ending stronger? This is really helpful. One small thing, though. I think we should double-check the details. Repeat. This is really helpful. One small thing, though. I think we should double-check the details. Now, a major C1 and C2 skill is speaking with precision. That means your words match your meaning. Instead of saying everything is good or bad, you become specific. Here are precise daily phrases. That's not ideal, but it's manageable. That works for me. I'm fine with it either way. I'm leaning toward the first option. I'm not totally sold on it yet. I'm open to it, but I need more information. Repeat. I'm not totally sold on it yet. Now, we'll build practical conversation around making plans and negotiating. This is daily life. Someone suggests a time. You adjust. You propose something else. You confirm. Here are natural negotiation phrases. How does that sound? Does that work for you? Would you prefer earlier or later? We can play it by ear. Let's lock it in. I can make that work. Repeat. Does that work for you? Now. Rescheduling. Very common. Something came up. Can we move it to later? Would you mind if we pushed it back a bit? Can we shift this to tomorrow? I hate to do this, but can we reschedule? Repeat. I hate to do this, but can we reschedule? Now, confirmation is where fluent speakers sound professional. Just to confirm, we're meeting at 3, so we're good for tomorrow at 10, right? I'll send a quick message to confirm. Repeat. Just to confirm, we're meeting at 3. Now, we're going to focus on one of the most important C2 level habits. Speaking in a calm, structured way when you're explaining something longer. This is how you sound confident without sounding like you're overthinking. Use signposting phrases. These are very common. The main point is, what I'm trying to say is, if I had to sum it up, at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. Repeat. At the end of the day. Now use it naturally. At the end of the day, I just want something that works. At the end of the day, it comes down to priorities. At the end of the day, communication matters more than perfection. Repeat. At the end of the day, it comes down to priorities. Now, another phrase that sounds very natural and mature is to be fair. To be fair, they were under a lot of pressure. To be fair, I didn't explain it clearly. To be fair, it was a last-minute change. Repeat. To be fair, I didn't explain it clearly. That shows responsibility and emotional intelligence. Now let's practice some everyday advanced phrasal verbs that native speakers use constantly. These are not fancy, they are normal. And using them well can push you towards C1 and C2 instantly. Figure out, work out, sort out, catch up, head out, run into, look into. Repeat each one after me. Figure out, work out, sort out, catch up, head out, run into, look into. Now use them in natural sentences. I'm trying to figure out what to do next. It all worked out in the end. Let's sort it out quickly. I need to catch up on a few things. I should head out soon. I ran into an old friend yesterday. I'll look into it and get back to you. Repeat this line. I'll look into it and get back to you. Now, quick reminder. If you're listening and you're repeating, you're already doing the work. If you're just listening, you'll still improve. But repeating is what builds speaking fluency. And if you want to support the channel in a simple way, write one comment. Tell me one phrase you want to use today. Just one. Because when you choose one phrase, your brain starts noticing opportunities to use it. Now, let's move into social conversations where you build connection, not just information. Connection. That's advanced fluency. Small supportive phrases make a big difference. That makes sense. I get that. I can relate. I've been there. No kidding. You're not wrong. Repeat. I can relate. Now use it. I can relate. I've had days like that too. Repeat. I can relate. I've had days like that too. Good. That is warm, natural English. Now, let's move into deeper conversations, the kind that happen in real life when people talk about values, choices, priorities, and personal opinions. This is where you don't just sound fluent, you sound mature. A key C1 and C2 skill is expressing opinions without sounding aggressive and showing nuance without sounding unsure. You can be confident and still be respectful. You can disagree and still sound warm. So first, let's practice soft opinion language. These phrases help you share your view without sounding like you're trying to win. In my experience, from what I've seen, I could be wrong, but it seems to me that I tend to think, my impression is, I'm inclined to believe. Repeat slowly. It seems to me that. Now use it in a real sentence. It seems to me that consistency matters more than intensity. Repeat. Consistency matters more than intensity. Now, you can also show humility, which makes your English feel natural and emotionally intelligent. I'm still learning about this, but I haven't thought about it deeply. But I'm not an expert. But I don't have all the facts. But repeat. I don't have all the facts, but now, let's practice a daily life conversation where someone asks your opinion. Imagine someone says, "Do you think it's better to work from home or in the office?" You can respond with nuance. It depends on the kind of work. Honestly, for me, it comes down to focus and routine. I see the benefits of both, but I prefer working from home. I like the office for collaboration, but I focus better at home. Repeat one. I see the benefits of both, but I focus better at home. Now, a common daily life situation is when someone shares a strong opinion and you want to respond without creating tension. Here are calm responses. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way. I can see why you'd feel that way. That's a fair point. I get your perspective. Repeat. I can see why you'd feel that way. Now, if you disagree, you can do it gently with these patterns. I hear you, but I see it differently. I agree to a point, but That might be true in some cases, but I'm not sure I fully agree, to be honest. Repeat. I agree to a point, but now let's use it. I agree to a point, but I think it depends on the person. Repeat. I think it depends on the person. That phrase is very common. It's a safe, natural way to show nuance. Now, let's practice talking about sensitive topics in daily life. Things like money, health habits, lifestyle choices, relationships, and personal boundaries. In English, it's important to sound respectful. Here are phrases that soften sensitive conversations. If you don't mind me asking, feel free not to answer, but I hope this isn't too personal. But can I ask you something kind of personal? Repeat. I hope this isn't too personal. But now, imagine you want to talk about money politely. Instead of asking directly, how much do you make? You could say something like, if you don't mind me asking, is it a competitive salary? Do you feel like you're being paid fairly? Is it within your budget? Was it expensive? If you don't mind me asking, repeat. Was it expensive? If you don't mind me asking. Now, imagine someone asks you a sensitive question and you don't want to answer. This is real life. You need polite ways to protect your privacy. Here are boundary responses. I'd rather not get into that, if that's okay. I'm not really comfortable sharing that. It's kind of personal, so I usually keep it private. I'd prefer to keep that to myself. Repeat. I'd rather not get into that. Now, make it softer with appreciation. I appreciate you asking, but I'd rather not get into that. Repeat. I appreciate you asking, but I'd rather not get into that. That is fluent and calm. Now, another advanced daily life skill is expressing uncertainty with confidence. Because life is full of uncertainty, plans change, people change their minds, things are unclear. Here are phrases that sound steady, not weak. I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know. I'm still deciding. I need to think it over. I'm leaning toward yes, but I can't confirm yet. I'm waiting to hear back. Repeat. I need to think it over. Now, if you want time, you can say, can I get back to you on that? Let me sleep on it. Give me a little time to consider it. Repeat. Let me sleep on it. That phrase is extremely natural. Now, let's do a practical example. Someone invites you somewhere. They say, are you free this weekend? You can respond without pressure. I might be. Let me check and get back to you. I'm not sure yet. I have a few things up in the air. Possibly. What did you have in mind? Repeat. I have a few things up in the air. Now, this next skill is very C2. Giving your opinion in a structured way, especially in longer conversations. This makes you sound calm, clear, and intelligent. Here is a simple structure you can use anywhere. First, I understand the other view. Second, I share your view. Third, I give a reason. Finally, I summarize. And you can use phrases like, I understand why people say that. At the same time, what it comes down to is, in the end, repeat. What it comes down to is. Now use it. I understand why people prefer quick results. At the same time, what it comes down to is daily practice. Repeat. What it comes down to is daily practice. Now, let's apply this to your English learning, because that's the real point of this masterclass. Imagine someone says, is it better to learn vocabulary or practice speaking? You respond like a fluent speaker. I understand why people focus on vocabulary. At the same time, speaking practice is what turns vocabulary into real fluency. What it comes down to is using the language, not just knowing it. Now repeat the key sentence. Speaking practice turns vocabulary into real fluency. Again, speaking practice turns vocabulary into real fluency. Now, let's move into a daily life scenario that requires thoughtful language. Giving advice. Advice is everywhere. Friends ask, coworkers ask, family asks, and advanced speakers give advice gently, not like commands. Here are gentle advice phrases. If I were you, I'd. One thing that might help is, you might want to consider, it could be worth trying. Have you thought about? Repeat. One thing that might help is, now practice. One thing that might help is breaking it into smaller steps. You might want to consider taking a short break. If I were you, I'd focus on one thing at a time. Repeat 1. If I were you, I'd focus on one thing at a time. Now, asking for advice is just as important. What would you do in my situation? Do you have any thoughts on this? I'd really appreciate your advice. Could I get your perspective? Repeat. Could I get your perspective? Now, let's train one more advanced conversation habit. Making your answers feel natural by adding small, real-life language. Native speakers often add short phrases like, to be honest, I mean, you know, honestly, kind of, in a way, not gonna lie. Use them lightly, not too much, just enough to sound human. Repeat, not gonna lie. Now a sentence, not gonna lie. I was nervous at first. Repeat, I was nervous at first, but I got through it. That, but I got through it, is a powerful life phrase. It shows resilience. Now, let's do a quick practice moment. I'll give you a line, and you respond out loud. Keep it simple and real. Someone says, you look tired. Your reply could be, yeah, I'm a bit drained today. I didn't sleep well. Honestly, I'm running low on energy. It's been a long day. I'm tired, but I'll be fine after some rest. Choose one and say it out loud now. Now, someone says, do you want to come tonight? You can reply, I'd love to, but I need to think it over. I might. Let me check and get back to you. I appreciate it, but I'm going to stay in tonight. Say one out loud. Now, someone says, why are you learning English so seriously? You can reply, one of my goals is to feel confident in real conversations. I'm working on my fluency so I can communicate more naturally. I want to open more opportunities for myself. Repeat this one. Because it matters. I want to open more opportunities for myself. Now you're out in the world. You're moving through a normal day, and you're going to need English for practical situations. Shopping, appointments, travel moments, directions, small problems, and quick conversations with strangers. This is where real fluency shows up. Not in perfect grammar. In calm, natural communication. Let's start with shopping. Many learners say, I want this, or I need that, and it works, but it can sound a little sharp. Fluent speakers often use softer, more natural phrases that sound polite and confident. Here are the most useful patterns. I'm looking for, I was hoping to find. Do you have anything like, do you happen to have, I'm trying to find something that. Repeat, I was hoping to find. Now use it. I was hoping to find something simple and comfortable. I was hoping to find a gift for a friend. I was hoping to find a jacket that's warm, but not too heavy. Repeat 1. I was hoping to find a jacket that's warm, but not too heavy. Now, when you want to ask about options, sizes, or colors, use these. Do you have this in a different size? Do you have this in another color? Is there a smaller version of this? Do you have anything more affordable? What would you recommend? Repeat. Do you have this in another color? Now let's make it more natural with a softener. Do you happen to have this in another color? Would you happen to have this in a medium? Repeat. Would you happen to have this in a medium? Now, asking about price and details. How much is this? Is this on sale? Is there a discount on this? What's the return policy? Does this come with a warranty? Repeat. What's the return policy? Now, a very common daily life situation is returning something. Many people feel nervous about this, but the English is actually simple if you stay calm. Here are natural phrases. I'd like to return this. Please. I bought this recently, but it's not what I expected. It doesn't fit the way I hoped. There seems to be an issue with it. Is it possible to get a refund or exchange? Repeat. It's not what I expected. Now add a polite reason. I bought this recently, but it's not what I expected. Could I exchange it? Repeat slowly. Could I exchange it? Now, let's move to appointments. Haircuts, clinics, meetings, services, anything. This is practical English you will use again and again. Here are natural appointment phrases. I'd like to schedule an appointment. Do you have any availability this week? Is there anything open tomorrow morning? Could I book a time in the afternoon? What times do you have available? Repeat. Do you have any availability this week? Now, rescheduling. I need to reschedule my appointment. Something came up. Can I move it to another day? Would it be possible to push it back? Could we switch to a later time? Repeat. I need to reschedule my appointment. Now, sometimes you show up somewhere and you need to check in. This happens at clinics, hotels, offices, interviews, and events. Here are calm check-in phrases. Hi, I have an appointment at 2. Hi. I'm here to check in. I'm here for my appointment with. My name is. I believe I'm scheduled for. Repeat. I'm here to check in. Now, if you're waiting and you want an update, you can say it politely. Just checking. Do you know how much longer it might be? Do you have an estimate for the wait time? No rush. I just wanted to check. Repeat. Do you know how much longer it might be? Now, let's shift into travel moments. Even if you don't travel often, travel English is basically daily life English with a few extra words. Tickets, directions, check-in, delays, and problem solving. First, asking for directions. Many learners say, "Where is this?" That's okay, but here are more natural ways. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to? Do you know where the nearest is? What's the best way to get to? Is it far from here? Am I going in the right direction? Repeat. What's the best way to get to? Now, asking follow-up questions, because directions need clarity. Is it within walking distance? How long does it take? Should I take a taxi or public transport? Which stop should I get off at? Repeat. Which stop should I get off at? Now, a real-life listening moment. Sometimes people explain directions quickly. You need the confidence to stop them politely. Sorry. Could you say that again a bit more slowly? Let me make sure I got this right. So I go straight, then turn left, right. Repeat. Let me make sure I got this right. Now, airport or station language. Simple but important. Where is the check-in counter? Where can I find the gate information? Is this the line for security? My flight has been delayed. Where do I pick up my luggage? Repeat. My flight has been delayed. Now, let's practice a very common daily life problem. You need help? You need information. You're not sure what to do. Instead of sounding stressed, use calm problem-solving language. I'm having a bit of trouble with. Could you help me figure this out? I'm not sure where to go. I think I might be in the wrong place. Could you point me in the right direction? Repeat. Could you point me in the right direction? Now, let's build a realistic conversation. You are at a station. You're not sure about your ticket. Excuse me, I'm not sure if I'm at the right platform. Could you help me figure out which platform I need? I'm trying to get to. Repeat the key sentence. I'm not sure if I'm at the right platform. Now, hotel check-in. Keep it calm and polite. Hi. I have a reservation under the name. I'm checking in. Could you confirm the booking details? What time is checkout? Is breakfast included? Repeat. Could you confirm the booking details? Now, if there's an issue, you can say it politely. I think there might be a mistake with my reservation. I'm not seeing my booking in the system. This isn't the room type I booked. Is there anything we can do to fix this? Repeat. Is there anything we can do to fix this? Now, let's come back to daily life at home and in the city. Another very common situation is making complaints or expressing dissatisfaction, but politely. This is high-level communication. You can be clear without being rude. Here are phrases that sound mature. I'm not completely satisfied with. This didn't quite meet my expectations. I was hoping for something a bit different. There seems to be an issue with. Could we take another look at this? Repeat. This didn't quite meet my expectations. Now make it softer. To be honest, this didn't quite meet my expectations. Could we adjust it? Repeat. Could we adjust it? Now, sometimes you need to say no, or you need to refuse something in a polite way. That is real fluency. Here are gentle refusals. I appreciate it, but I'll pass. Thanks, but I'm good for now. I'm going to pass this time. But thank you. I'd rather not, if that's okay. Repeat. Thanks, but I'm good for now. Now, let's do a quick practice drill. I'll give you situations. You respond out loud with one natural sentence. Situation 1. You're in a store, and you need help. You say, "Excuse me. I was hoping to find a jacket that's warm but lightweight." Say it out loud now. Situation 2. You need to reschedule an appointment. You say, "I need to reschedule my appointment. Would it be possible to move it to tomorrow afternoon?" Say it out loud now. Situation 3. You're lost. You say, "Excuse me. Could you point me in the right direction? What's the best way to get to the city center?" Say it out loud now. Situation 4. Something isn't right with your order. You say, "I think there might be a small mistake with my order. Is there any way we could sort this out?" Say it out loud now. Good. That's real English. Calm, polite, confident. Now let's sharpen your fluency in longer conversations. Because real life isn't one sentence. Real life is a flow. People interrupt. Topics change. You forget a word. You need a second to think. You want to sound natural, even when you're not perfect. This is exactly what C1 and C2 speakers do well. They manage the flow. So in this section, you'll practice conversation control skills, linking phrases, changing topics smoothly, interrupting politely, buying time when your mind goes blank, and re-entering the conversation confidently. Let's start with linking phrases. These help you connect ideas so your English sounds smooth and organized. Here are the most natural ones. Actually, to be honest, in general, on top of that, at the same time, that said. In other words, for example, as a result, because of that. Repeat each one softly. That said, as a result. Now use them in simple, real sentences. I like working from home. That said, I miss seeing people in person. I've been busy lately. As a result, I haven't had much free time. I wanted to go out. Because of that, I finished my work early. Repeat. That said, I miss seeing people in person. Now, a very advanced connector that makes you sound clear is, what I mean is. What I mean is, I want to keep it simple. What I mean is, I'm not saying it's wrong. I just see it differently. Repeat. What I mean is. Now, changing topics. This happens constantly. You're talking about work, then someone brings up food. You're talking about travel, then you need to ask a question. You want to switch smoothly without sounding abrupt. Here are natural topic change phrases. By the way, speaking of that reminds me. On a different note, before I forget? Repeat. Before I forget. Now, examples. By the way, how was your weekend? Speaking of that, did you ever finish that project? That reminds me. I need to send you something. On a different note, how's your family doing? Before I forget, what time are we meeting? Repeat. On a different note, how's your family doing? Now, interrupting politely. This is a real skill. People interrupt each other naturally in English, but you need the polite version. Here are strong polite interruptions. Sorry to jump in, but can I just add something quickly? Quick question, if you don't mind. Can I stop you for a second? Just to clarify. Repeat. Sorry to jump in, but now use it. Sorry to jump in, but can I clarify one thing? Repeat. Can I clarify one thing? Now, what if you didn't understand, or you missed a detail? You want to interrupt, but politely. Sorry, I might have missed that. Did you say, just to make sure I understood? You meant, can you run that by me one more time? Repeat. Can you run that by me one more time? Now, buying time when your mind goes blank. This is huge. Everyone needs time to think, even native speakers. The difference is, fluent speakers don't freeze. They use time-buying phrases. Here are the best ones. Let me think for a second. That's a good question. How can I put this? Give me a moment. I'm trying to find the right word. Let me see. Repeat. How can I put this? Now. Combine it with a natural response. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. How can I put this? I think the main issue is time. Repeat. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. Now, if you forget a word, don't stop. Describe it. This is a C2 level habit. It's like, it's the thing you use to, I mean the one that, I can't remember the word, but you know what I mean. Repeat. I can't remember the word, but you know what I mean. Now, re-entering a conversation. This is important in group conversations or meetings. You want to speak, but you don't want to be aggressive. Here are natural ways. Can I share my thoughts on that? If I can just add one thing, I'd like to jump in here. I have a quick thought. From my perspective, repeat. If I can just add one thing. Now, disagreeing without tension. Again, but in a longer conversation. I get your point. That said, I think we should consider. That makes sense. At the same time, I wonder if. I'm with you on that. I just think. Repeat. That makes sense. At the same time, I wonder if. Now, let's practice controlling the flow in a realistic conversation. Imagine you're talking to a colleague. They say, we should finish this today. You respond, that makes sense. At the same time, I wonder if we're being realistic about the timeline. Repeat slowly. I wonder if we're being realistic about the timeline. Now they keep talking fast, and you need to clarify. You say, sorry to jump in, but can I clarify one thing? Are we focusing on the main task or everything? Repeat. Sorry to jump in, but can I clarify one thing? Now you want to change topics. You say, by the way, before I forget, did we decide on the meeting time tomorrow? Repeat. Before I forget, did we decide on the meeting time tomorrow? Now, your mind goes blank for a second, but you keep the conversation going. You say, that's a good question. Let me think for a second. I think the best option is to keep it simple. Repeat. I think the best option is to keep it simple. Excellent. That's how a fluent speaker sounds. Calm, clear, and still in control. Now, let's make this even more realistic. Daily life conversations include interruptions, quick messages, and casual talk. Here are fast, natural conversation fillers that keep your rhythm smooth. Use them lightly. Right. Exactly. Fair enough. Honestly, I mean, totally. No kidding. That's true. Repeat. Fair enough. Now use it. Fair enough. That makes sense. Repeat. Fair enough. That makes sense. Now, a quick skill. How to politely end a conversation when you're in the middle of something. I'd love to keep chatting, but I have to run. Let me get back to you on that. Can we pick this up later? I'll message you in a bit. Repeat. Let me get back to you on that. Now, we're going to move into one more important daily life skill: handling mistakes and misunderstandings with confidence. Because mistakes are normal, the goal is to stay smooth. Here are phrases you can use when you correct yourself. Sorry, let me rephrase that. What I meant to say was, let me correct myself. That came out wrong. What I meant was, repeat. What I meant to say was, now use it. What I meant to say was, I can do it tomorrow, not today. Repeat slowly. I can do it tomorrow, not today. Great. You're building real fluency. Now we're going to step into a higher level of daily life English, the kind of language you need when you want people to take you seriously. Negotiating politely, being persuasive without being pushy, handling emotions calmly, and summarizing your point so it lands clearly. This is the difference between I can speak and people trust my communication. Let's start with negotiating politely. Negotiation is not only business. It happens every day. You negotiate time, plans, responsibilities, prices, boundaries, and expectations. Here are natural negotiation phrases. Is there any flexibility on that? Would it be possible to? Could we meet in the middle? What's the best you can do? Would you consider? If it helps, I can. I'm happy to. As long as. I can do X, but I can't do Y. Repeat. Could we meet in the middle? Now use it in daily life. Could we meet in the middle? And do it around 5. Could we meet in the middle and keep it simple? Could we meet in the middle on the price? Repeat. Could we meet in the middle on the price? Now, expressing conditions. This is very advanced and very common. I'm happy to help, as long as I have enough time. I can do it, but I'll need a clear deadline. I'm open to it, but I have one concern. I can make that work, but not today. Repeat. I can make that work, but not today. Now let's practice negotiating time, the most common daily life negotiation. Someone says, can you do it today? You can say, I can do it today, but it'll be later this afternoon. I can do it tomorrow morning. Would that work? I can try, but I can't promise. Repeat. I can try, but I can't promise. That phrase is honest, natural, and mature. Now, persuasion. In daily life, you try to convince someone gently, not force them. Maybe you're suggesting a plan, offering an idea, or encouraging someone. Here are persuasive phrases that sound respectful. Here's what I'm thinking. It might be a good idea to. The reason I suggest this is, if we do it this way, it'll. I feel like this could really help. Trust me on this. Hear me out. Repeat. Hear me out. Now use it. Hear me out. If we do it now, we won't have to worry later. Repeat. We won't have to worry later. That's a persuasive line. Now, if you want to sound even more polite, you can soften persuasion. What if we? Would you be open to? Have you considered? It might be worth. Repeat. What if we? Now, here's a realistic daily life example. What if we meet earlier, so we can leave on time? Repeat. So we can leave on time. Now, let's move into emotions. Because daily life involves feelings: disappointment, frustration, stress, excitement, relief, gratitude, and two-level speakers can express emotions clearly without sounding dramatic. Let's start with calm frustration. Instead of saying, I'm angry, you can say, I'm a bit frustrated. To be honest, this has been stressful. I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. I'm not going to lie. This is getting difficult. This is starting to wear me out. Repeat. This is starting to wear me out. Now, a key C2 skill. Expressing frustration and still staying respectful. I'm not upset. I just want clarity. I'm not trying to complain. I just want to understand. I'm not blaming anyone. I just want a solution. Repeat. I'm not blaming anyone. I just want a solution. That line makes you sound mature. Now, expressing disappointment politely. That's a shame. That's a bit disappointing. I was really hoping it would work out. That's not what I expected. I was expecting something different. Repeat. I was really hoping it would work out. Now, expressing relief. Very common. That's such a relief. I'm glad that's sorted. I'm so glad that's over. That's a weight off my shoulders. Repeat. That's a weight off my shoulders. Now, expressing appreciation. This is daily life fluency. I really appreciate it. That means a lot. Thanks for having my back. I'm grateful for your help. I appreciate you taking the time. Repeat. Thanks for having my back. That phrase is warm and natural. Now, let's practice a realistic scenario with emotions and negotiation. Imagine you're working with someone and the deadline is tight. You want to be calm but clear. You say, I'm a bit concerned about the timeline. Could we meet in the middle and extend it by one day? I'm not blaming anyone. I just want a solution. Now repeat the key part. I'm a bit concerned about the timeline. Again, could we meet in the middle and extend it by one day? Now, summarizing. This is a top-level skill. When you can summarize, people trust you. You sound organized. You sound confident. Here are summarizing phrases. So, in short, to sum it up, basically, at the end of the day, the bottom line is, if I had to put it simply, repeat, the bottom line is, now use it. The bottom line is, we need more time. The bottom line is, I want something clear and simple. The bottom line is, practice matters more than perfection. Repeat. Practice matters more than perfection. Now, let's train a very real daily life skill. Summarizing your day. People ask, how was your day? And you want a fluent, natural answer. Try these. To sum it up, it was busy but productive. In short, it was a long day, but I got through it. Basically, everything went fine. Except for one small issue. Overall, it went better than I expected. Repeat 1. In short, it was a long day, but I got through it. Now, another advanced skill. Summarizing a disagreement. To be fair, we both had valid points. At the end of the day, we just needed better communication. Basically, we misunderstood each other. Repeat. To be fair, we both had valid points. Now, let's move into persuasion and confidence in social situations. Imagine you want to encourage a friend. You can say, hear me out. You're more capable than you think. If I were you, I'd give it a try. It might be uncomfortable at first, but you'll learn a lot. Repeat. You're more capable than you think. Now, let's do a quick daily life practice drill. Situation 1. You're negotiating meeting time. You say, could we meet in the middle and do it around 5? I can make that work, but not today. Say it out loud now. Situation 2. You're expressing frustration calmly. You say, I'm not blaming anyone. I just want a solution. I'm a bit frustrated, to be honest. Say it out loud now. Situation 3. You're summarizing. You say, to sum it up, it was busy but productive. The bottom line is, I got what I needed done. Say it out loud now. Good. That's real fluency practice. Now let's build social confidence in English. Because daily life fluency is not only about grammar and vocabulary, it's about connection, starting conversations, keeping them alive, showing interest, and making people feel comfortable around you. A lot of learners can answer questions, but they struggle to lead a conversation. And C1 to C2 speakers can lead smoothly, without dominating. They ask good questions, they listen actively, and they respond with warmth. So in this section, you'll practice how to start, build, and maintain real conversations. First, starting conversations naturally. In daily life, You don't always have a perfect reason to talk. You might be in a cafe, at work, in an elevator, at an event, or meeting someone through friends. Here are natural conversation starters. Hey, how's it going? Hi, nice to meet you. So, how do you know everyone here? How's your day been? How's your week going so far? Busy day today, huh? It's been a long day, hasn't it? Repeat. Busy day today, huh? Now, if you want to sound friendly and confident, add a light follow-up question. Busy day today, huh? How's yours been? It's been a long day, hasn't it? How are you holding up? Repeat. How are you holding up? That phrase is very natural, especially when someone looks tired or stressed. Now, the next skill is showing interest. Fluent speakers use short listening signals that show attention. Exactly. Right. I see. Got it. That makes sense. No way. You're kidding. Seriously. Repeat. That makes sense. Now, when someone is speaking, you can use these to keep the conversation flowing. That makes sense. And how did that go? I see. So what happened next? Got it. What did you decide to do? Repeat. So, what happened next? Now, asking good questions. This is where your conversations become deeper and more natural. Instead of only asking, what do you do? You can ask, what kind of work are you in? What do you do for a living? What keeps you busy these days? What have you been working on lately? Repeat. What keeps you busy these days? Now, for deeper connection, ask follow-up questions that show curiosity. How did you get into that? What do you enjoy most about it? What's the hardest part? What's been the best part so far? Repeat. How did you get into that? Now, let's practice a realistic conversation flow. Imagine you just met someone at an event. You say, "Hi, nice to meet you. So, how do you know everyone here?" Repeat. So, how do you know everyone here? They answer. Then you respond with interest. Oh, that makes sense. How did you get into that? Repeat. Oh, that makes sense. Now, adding personal sharing. Fluent speakers don't only ask questions, they share small details about themselves, which makes conversation balanced. Here are natural self-sharing phrases. Actually, lately, I've been, to be honest, I've been, I've been meaning to, I'm really into, I'm trying to, repeat. Lately, I've been, now use it. Lately, I've been working on my English fluency. Lately, I've been trying to build better habits. Lately, I've been keeping things simple. Repeat 1. Lately, I've been working on my English fluency. Now, let's talk about compliments. Compliments are powerful in social life, but they need to sound natural, not too strong. Here are safe, natural compliments. That's really impressive. You did a great job. I like your style. That's a great point. I love how you explained that. You handled that really well. Repeat. You handled that really well. Now, casual compliments in daily life. I like your jacket. That color looks great on you. That's a good choice. You've got great energy. Repeat. You've got great energy. Now, a key skill. Agreeing and building. When someone shares an opinion, you can respond with, I know what you mean. I can relate to that. I've felt that way too. That's so true. I've noticed that as well. Repeat. I've noticed that as well. Now, shifting into deeper small talk topics. These are common daily life topics that native speakers use. Work and studies, weekend plans, food, movies and shows, fitness and health, travel, weather, local events. Here are natural questions. What are you up to this weekend? Any plans for the weekend? Have you watched anything good lately? What kind of music are you into? Do you like it here so far? What do you usually do to unwind? Repeat. What do you usually do to unwind? Now, let's practice responding in a way that sounds rich but not too long. Question. What do you usually do to unwind? Answer options. I usually take a walk and clear my head. I like to relax with a good show. Honestly, I just try to unplug for a bit. I usually read or listen to music. Repeat 1. Honestly, I just try to unplug for a bit. Now, handling awkward moments. Sometimes there's silence. Sometimes you don't know what to say. Fluent speakers don't panic. They use simple bridging phrases. Anyway, so yeah, you know what I mean. To be honest, let me think. Repeat. Anyway. Now, if there's silence, you can bring in a new topic smoothly. Anyway, how's your week been? So yeah. What have you been up to lately? Repeat. What have you been up to lately? Now, humor and lightness. You don't need to be funny, but you can be light. Here are phrases that keep the vibe relaxed. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. I can't complain. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Repeat. I can't complain. Now, when someone asks, how are you? A very natural answer is, I'm good. I can't complain. Repeat. I can't complain. Now, let's practice a full mini conversation in your mind. Listen and repeat. Hey, how's it going? Good. I can't complain. How about you? Pretty good. Busy day today, huh? Yeah, it's been a bit hectic. What keeps you busy these days? Honestly, work mostly. I've been trying to stay on top of things. That makes sense. How do you usually unwind after a long day? I usually take a walk or just unplug for a bit. Now, repeat the key lines. What keeps you busy these days? How do you usually unwind after a long day? I usually take a walk or just unplug for a bit. Great. Now, one more advanced social skill. Politely disagreeing in social situations without making it uncomfortable. You can say, I see what you mean, but I'm not sure I agree. That's fair. I just look at it differently. Maybe. But I think it depends. Interesting point. I hadn't considered that. Repeat. That's fair. I just look at it differently. Now. Ending social conversations smoothly. It was really nice talking to you. Let's catch up again soon. I'm glad we got to talk. I'll see you around. I should get going. But take care. Repeat. It was really nice talking to you. Now, to sound truly advanced in longer conversations, you don't need complicated words. You need structure, emphasis, and rhythm. This is what makes C1 and C2 speakers sound clear, confident, and easy to follow. So, in this section, you'll practice 3 things. How to speak in longer form without getting lost. How to add natural emphasis so your English sounds alive. How to tell a stronger story that keeps people listening. Let's start with longer answers. A lot of learners can speak in short sentences, but when they speak longer, they start repeating, they lose direction, or they get stuck. The solution is simple. You use a basic structure. Here are 3 easy structures you can use in daily life. First, you give your main point. Then you add one reason. Then you give one example. Finally, you wrap it up. Let's practice the phrases that guide that structure. The main thing is. The reason is, for example, so overall. Repeat slowly. So overall. Now listen to a longer answer and repeat. The main thing is, I'm trying to stay consistent with my English. The reason is, I know practice only works if I do it regularly. For example, I listen for 20 minutes a day and repeat out loud. So overall, it's been helping a lot. Now repeat the key line. The main thing is, I'm trying to stay consistent. Now, let's do another longer answer for real daily life. The main thing is, I've been trying to get my routine under control. The reason is, when my routine is messy, everything feels stressful. For example, if I plan my morning, the whole day goes better. So overall, I'm trying to keep things simple and steady. Repeat. When my routine is messy, everything feels stressful. That sentence sounds very real, very human. Now, another strong structure for longer answers is contrast. This helps you sound thoughtful, on the one hand. On the other hand, at the same time, in the end. Repeat. On the other hand. Now use it. On the one hand, I like staying busy. On the other hand, I need rest to stay healthy. Repeat slowly. I need rest to stay healthy. Now, one more structure that advanced speakers use is the three-part list. It's simple and it sounds confident. For me, it's about time, energy, and priorities. For me, it's about comfort, cost, and convenience. For me, it's about clarity, respect, and results. Repeat this one. For me, it's about clarity, respect, and results. Now, let's move into emphasis. This is where your English starts sounding alive. Native speakers naturally emphasize certain words. They slow down. They add stress. They use phrases that signal importance. Here are common emphasis phrases. Honestly. The truth is, what really matters is. The key point is. If I'm being real. This is the thing. Repeat. The key point is. Now, use it naturally. The key point is. I don't want to rush. I want to do it well. Repeat. I don't want to rush. I want to do it well. That rhythm is very natural. 2 short sentences. Clear and strong. Now, here are some natural emphasis patterns you can copy. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't right now. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's not a big deal. I just want to be clear. Repeat. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Now, here's a powerful C2 habit. You soften strong statements with a calm tone. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," you say, "I'm not sure that's the full picture. I see it a little differently. I think there's another side to it. I don't think it's that simple." Repeat. I don't think it's that simple. That sentence is firm but respectful. Now, let's move into stronger storytelling. Because storytelling is how you connect with people. It's how you make your English feel natural. And it's also how you keep listeners engaged in a podcast. Here's a simple storytelling structure you can use in real life. Set the scene. Introduce the problem. Describe what you did. Share the result. Add a reflection. And you'll use natural phrases like, "So this happened the other day. At first, I thought. Then I realized. So I decided to. In the end. Looking back." Repeat. Looking back. Now listen and repeat this story. So, this happened the other day. I was running errands, and I thought I had enough time to do everything. At first, it felt fine. Then I realized I had completely underestimated how crowded it was. So I decided to focus on the most important things and skip the rest. In the end, I still got what I needed done. Looking back, I think it was a good reminder to keep my plans realistic. Now repeat the reflection line. Looking back, I think it was a good reminder to keep my plans realistic. That is high-level daily English. Calm, clear, reflective. Now, let's build another story that sounds real, and it works in work or social life. So this happened earlier this week. I had a conversation that didn't go the way I expected. At first, I was a bit frustrated. Then I realized we were just misunderstanding each other. So I slowed down, asked a few questions, and clarified what I meant. In the end, it worked out. Looking back, I'm glad I stayed calm, because it made everything easier. Repeat this line. I'm glad I stayed calm. Now, another key storytelling upgrade is adding small natural details. Not too many, just 1 or 2. Instead of saying, "I went to a cafe," you say, "I stopped by a cafe near my place." I went to this little place I hadn't tried before. I popped into a cafe because I needed a break. Repeat. I popped into a cafe because I needed a break. Now, in real conversation, people often respond to stories with small, supportive phrases. This makes you sound socially fluent. No way. That's wild. That's funny. That makes sense. I can imagine. That sounds stressful. I'm glad it worked out. Repeat. I can imagine. Now, there's one more advanced skill that makes your English sound C2. You reflect. You add a lesson. You don't just say what happened, you say what it meant. Here are reflection phrases. It taught me that. It made me realize. It reminded me that. It was a good lesson in. It put things into perspective. Repeat. It made me realize. Now use it. It made me realize I need to slow down sometimes. Repeat. It made me realize I need to slow down sometimes. Now, let's practice everyday persuasion in a natural way, not sales. Just convincing someone gently in daily life. When you want to persuade someone, you can use this structure. State your idea. Give a reason. Offer a benefit. Invite their opinion. And you can use these phrases. Here's what I'm thinking. The reason is, it would make things easier because, what do you think? Repeat. Here's what I'm thinking. Now listen to a persuasive example and repeat. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's do it earlier. The reason is, we'll have more time and less stress. It would make things easier because we won't be rushing at the end. What do you think? Now, repeat the key line. It would make things easier because we won't be rushing at the end. Now, if you want to be persuasive but very polite, add a softener. Would you be open to doing it earlier? If you're okay with it, we could start a bit sooner. It might be better to do it earlier, just to be safe. Repeat. It might be better to do it earlier, just to be safe. Now, a quick reminder. If you're listening and repeating, you're training your speaking muscles. If you can, pause this episode sometimes and answer out loud, even with a simple sentence. That's how you build real fluency. Now let's train something that makes the biggest difference in real life. Fast, casual conversation. Because in real life, people don't speak like textbooks. They speak quickly. They shorten words. They use casual phrases. They change direction mid-sentence. And if you can follow that style, you'll feel like you're finally inside the language, not outside of it. So, in this section, we'll practice casual, everyday phrases you'll hear everywhere. Quick responses that keep you from freezing. How to stay calm when someone speaks fast. And how to sound natural without trying too hard. Let's begin with casual phrases that native speakers use constantly. Here are some that you'll hear every day. No worries. Sounds good. That works. I'm down. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know. I'm on my way. Give me a sec. Hang on a second. My bad. All good. It's up to you. Whatever works. Repeat softly. No worries. Give me a sec. My bad. Now use them naturally. No worries. I've got it. Sounds good. Let's do it. That works for me. I'm down. What time? Give me a sec. I'm finishing something. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. My bad. I misunderstood. All good. Don't stress. It's up to you. I'm flexible. Whatever works. Just let me know. Repeat this one, because it's extremely useful. Whatever works. Just let me know. Now, let's talk about quick replies. This is where many learners freeze, because they feel pressure to respond perfectly. But in real conversation, your goal is not perfection. Your goal is a natural, quick response that keeps the flow alive. Here are quick responses for common situations. If someone says, "Do you want to?" you can reply, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm down. Maybe. Let me think. I might. I'll let you know. I'd love to." but I can't today. Repeat, I might. I'll let you know. Now, if someone asks, are you free later? You can say, I think so. Possibly. Not sure yet. I'm tied up. I'm free after 6. Repeat, I'm tied up. That phrase is very common. It means you're busy. Now, if someone says, sorry, you can reply naturally with, no worries. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Happens. Repeat, it's all good. Now, if someone thanks you, your quick, casual responses can be, no problem, anytime, of course, sure thing. Repeat, sure thing. Now, let's practice staying calm when someone speaks fast. Here's the truth. Even advanced speakers ask people to repeat. It's normal. It's not embarrassing. The key is doing it politely and confidently. Here are calm phrases that work in any situation. Sorry. Could you say that again? I didn't catch that. Could you slow down a bit? Can you say that one more time? Just to make sure I understood, you mean, repeat. I didn't catch that. Could you slow down a bit? Now let's add a polite softener, which makes you sound very natural. Sorry. Could you slow down a bit? I just want to make sure I'm following. Repeat. I just want to make sure I'm following. Now, another advanced habit. Repeating back the key information. This is what confident speakers do. So, you mean we're meeting at 5? Right. Just to confirm, you want me to send it today. Okay. So we're going with the second option. Repeat. So you mean we're meeting at 5? Right? Now, casual conversation often includes short expressions that don't translate word for word. You don't need to overthink them. You just need to recognize them. Here are some common ones. I'm just saying. You know what I mean. Yeah. It's not a big deal. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm like, and I was like, long story short. Repeat. It is what it is. Now use it naturally. It is what it is. We'll figure it out. Repeat. We'll figure it out. Now let's practice quick, natural reactions. In real life, people react fast. If someone tells you something surprising, you can say, no way. You're kidding. Seriously, that's wild. That's crazy. Repeat. No way. Now, if something is disappointing, that sucks. That's rough. That's too bad. Ugh. That's frustrating. Repeat. That's rough. Now, if something is good news, that's awesome. That's great. Love that. Good for you. Repeat. Good for you. Now, here's a very practical daily skill. Responding when you don't have an answer yet. Instead of freezing, you can say, let me get back to you. I'll check and let you know. I'm not sure, but I can find out. Give me a minute to think. Repeat. I'll check and let you know. Now, another common real-life moment is when you need to change plans quickly. Here are natural phrases that keep it casual but clear. Something came up. I'm running late. I'm stuck in traffic. Can we push it back a bit? Can we do it another day? Repeat. Something came up. Now, combine it. Something came up. Can we push it back a bit? Repeat slowly. Can we push it back a bit? Now, let's make this feel like a real conversation. Imagine this is a text or a quick call with a friend. You say, hey, sorry, something came up. Can we push it back a bit? I'll let you know as soon as I'm free. Repeat. I'll let you know as soon as I'm free. Now, let's upgrade your casual English without making it messy. This is important. You want to sound natural, but still clear and respectful. Here are casual but polite phrases. Do you mind if? Would it be okay if? Could you do me a favor? When you get a chance. If you don't mind, repeat. When you get a chance. Now use it. When you get a chance. Could you send me the details? Repeat. Could you send me the details? Now, let's talk about a fear many learners have. If I use casual English, I might sound rude. That's a real concern. The solution is simple. Keep your tone friendly and add small, polite words. Please, thanks, appreciate it, sorry, just, for example, could you send that when you get a chance? Thanks, sorry. Could you repeat that? I appreciate it. Repeat. I appreciate it. Now, let's practice a short, fast conversation drill. Listen and respond in your head or out loud. I'll say a line. You respond quickly. Ready. Line 1. Hey, where are you? You can say, I'm on my way. Give me 5 minutes. Repeat. I'm on my way. Give me 5 minutes. Line 2. Do you want to grab coffee later? You can say, yeah, I'm down. What time works? Repeat. What time works? Line 3. Sorry I'm late. You can say, no worries. All good. Repeat. No worries. All good. Line 4. Can you send me that file? You can say, sure thing. I'll send it in a minute. Repeat. I'll send it in a minute. Good. That's real-life English speed. Now, one more advanced skill for fast conversations. Staying present even if you miss a word. If you miss one word, don't panic. Keep listening. Most of the meaning is still there. And if you truly need clarification, ask one simple question. Sorry, what do you mean by that? Wait. When you say, what do you mean? Can you explain that quickly? Repeat. What do you mean by that? Now let's bring everything together into a realistic full-day flow. This is where your brain starts building automatic English. Not isolated phrases. Real-life rhythm. Imagine this is your day. From morning to evening. In English, you'll hear natural mini-conversations, and you'll practice responding smoothly. As you listen, do 2 things. First, repeat the key lines when you can. Second, imagine yourself actually in the situation. Let's begin with the morning. You wake up. You check your phone. Maybe you have messages. Maybe you're thinking about your schedule. A natural way to talk about your morning mindset is, I'm just getting my day started. I'm still waking up. I need a minute to get moving. I'm trying to get my head straight. I've got a busy day ahead. Repeat. I've got a busy day ahead. Now, imagine someone messages you. Hey, are you up? You can reply, yeah, I'm up. Just getting my day started. Yeah, I'm awake. Still waking up though. I'm up. I'm about to head out. Repeat 1. Yeah, I'm up. Just getting my day started. Now, you're getting ready. You're thinking about timing. I need to leave in about 10 minutes. I'm running a bit behind. I should probably head out soon. I'm trying not to rush. Repeat. I'm running a bit behind. Now you're outside. Maybe you're going to work, school, or an appointment. You might talk to someone quickly. Hey, how's it going? Your reply can be, good. I can't complain. How about you? Pretty good. Just getting through the morning. Not bad. It's been a busy start. Repeat. Good. I can't complain. Now, let's imagine you're in a cafe. You're ordering something. Keep it natural and polite. Hi. Could I get a medium latte, please? Could I do an iced coffee? No sugar. I'll have a cappuccino, please. Repeat. Could I get a medium latte, please? Now, customizing your order. Could you make it less sweet? Can I get that with oat milk? Could you leave out the syrup? Repeat. Can I get that with oat milk? Now, you pay. They hand you your drink. You respond naturally. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good one. Perfect. Thanks. Repeat. Have a good one. Now, you're heading to work or class. You arrive. You see someone. You start small talk. Hey, good to see you. Morning. How's your day going so far? How's your morning been? Repeat. How's your day going so far? They say, it's been hectic. You reply, I can imagine. It's been a lot this morning. That makes sense. Mondays can be rough. Yeah, I feel you. It's been nonstop. Repeat. Yeah, I feel you. It's been nonstop. Now, you need to ask something at work. You want to sound confident and respectful. Do you have a minute? Can I run something by you? Quick question. If you don't mind. Repeat. Can I run something by you? Now. Giving a quick update. I've made good progress. I'm still working on it, but it's moving forward. I'm wrapping it up now. I should have it ready by this afternoon. Repeat. I should have it ready by this afternoon. Now, imagine you ran into a small issue. I ran into a small problem. Something unexpected came up. There's been a slight delay. Repeat. Something unexpected came up. Now, you want to ask for help. Could you help me figure this out? Do you mind taking a look? Can you give me a hand with this? Repeat. Do you mind taking a look? Now, lunchtime. Someone suggests food. Do you want to grab lunch? You reply casually. Yeah, I'm down. Where are you thinking? Sure, I could eat. I'd love to, but I'm tied up today. Repeat. Yeah, I'm down. Where are you thinking? Now, you're at lunch. Conversation is light. How's your week been? What's been keeping you busy? Have you watched anything good lately? Repeat. What's been keeping you busy? Now, you want to share something about your life. Honestly, I've been trying to stay consistent with my routine. I've been working on a few personal goals. Lately, I've been focusing on my English. Repeat. Lately, I've been focusing on my English. Now, a natural follow-up question to keep it going. Oh, nice. What's your main focus right now? Are you working on speaking or listening more? What's been the most challenging part? Repeat. What's been the most challenging part? Now, afternoon. You're back to work. You need to clarify something. This is common. Just to clarify. Do you want this today or tomorrow? I want to make sure I understood. So we're going with option 2. Right. Repeat. Just to clarify. Do you want this today or tomorrow? Now, someone speaks quickly, and you miss something. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say that again? Can you slow down a bit? Repeat. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Now, late afternoon. You're finishing things. I'm wrapping up a few things. I'm almost done for the day. I'm trying to finish strong. Repeat. I'm almost done for the day. Now, you get a message about evening plans. Are you free tonight? You respond naturally. Possibly. What did you have in mind? I might be. Let me check and get back to you. I'd love to, but I already have plans. Repeat. Possibly. What did you have in mind? Now. You need to set a boundary politely. I appreciate the invite, but I'm going to stay in tonight. I'd love to, but I can't commit tonight. I'm going to pass this time, but thank you. Repeat. I appreciate the invite, but I'm going to stay in tonight. Now, evening. You're home. You want to talk about your day. It was a long day, but I got through it. To sum it up, it was busy but productive. Honestly, it wasn't perfect, but it went fine. Repeat. It was a long day, but I got through it. Now, here's the final part. The mindset that keeps you moving towards C2. Instead of judging yourself, you speak to yourself like a confident learner. I'm improving every day. I'm getting more comfortable with this. I don't need to be perfect. I need to be consistent. Repeat slowly. I don't need to be perfect. I need to be consistent. Now we're going to take that full day flow and push it into real C1, C2 territory, because at higher levels, the difference is not only what you say, but how you manage difficult moments. When someone is unclear, when someone is emotional, when you need to be firm without sounding rude, when you need to sound confident without sounding arrogant. And the good news is, you don't need rare vocabulary. You need a small set of real phrases that native speakers use every day. Let's start with one of the most common real-life situations. You need to say something that might be uncomfortable. Maybe you need to say no. Maybe you need to correct someone. Maybe you need to ask for something you deserve. Maybe you need to set a clear expectation. A powerful C1, C2 opener is, "Can I be honest with you? I want to be transparent. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I just want to be upfront." Repeat. I just want to be upfront. Now use it naturally. I just want to be upfront. I can't take on more work right now. Repeat. I can't take on more work right now. Now, sometimes you need to raise a concern without sounding negative. Here are calm, professional phrases that still feel normal in daily life. I'm a little concerned about. I'm not sure this is realistic. I'm worried we might be missing something. I just want to flag one thing. I want to make sure we're not overlooking. Repeat. I just want to flag one thing. Now use it. I just want to flag one thing. The timeline feels a bit tight. Repeat slowly. The timeline feels a bit tight. Now, if you want to suggest a solution, you can add, "What if we?" One option could be, "A possible workaround is, could we consider?" Maybe a better approach would be, repeat. A possible workaround is. Now use it. A possible workaround is to split it into smaller steps. Repeat. Split it into smaller steps. Now let's move into handling conflict calmly. Not big drama. Normal daily conflict. Miscommunication. Frustration. Different expectations. Here are phrases that keep things calm. I don't want this to get tense. Let's keep it constructive. I'm not trying to argue. I'm not upset. I just want clarity. Can we talk about what happened? Repeat. Let's keep it constructive. Now, if someone is defensive, you can respond with empathy while staying firm. I hear you. I'm not attacking you. I get where you're coming from. I understand why you'd feel that way. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying we need to align. Repeat. I get where you're coming from. Now, one of the most advanced daily life skills is repairing a conversation, fixing the mood, bringing things back to normal. Here are repair phrases. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. I think we misunderstood each other. Let's reset for a second. Can we start over? I appreciate you hearing me out. Repeat. Let's reset for a second. Now use it. Let's reset for a second. What's the main goal here? Repeat. What's the main goal here? That question is powerful. It pulls the conversation back to reality. Now, let's practice apologizing in a mature way. Not dramatic, clear, and responsible. Here are everyday apologies that sound natural. That's on me. I should have been clearer. I didn't handle that well. I apologize for the confusion. Thanks for your patience. Repeat. That's on me. Now use it. That's on me. I should have communicated earlier. Repeat slowly. I should have communicated earlier. Now, what if someone apologizes to you? You want to respond politely and move forward. No worries. It happens. I appreciate you saying that. Thanks for letting me know. All good. Let's move on. Repeat. I appreciate you saying that. Now, let's train something that makes you sound very C2 in daily life. Saying things indirectly, but clearly. Native speakers do this all the time. They don't always speak in hard, direct sentences. They soften the message, but the meaning is still clear. For example, instead of, "You're late," you can say, "Hey, I was starting to wonder where you were. Just checking, are you still on your way? I wasn't sure if something came up." Repeat, I wasn't sure if something came up. Instead of, "That's wrong," you can say, "I'm not sure that's quite right. I think there might be a small mistake. I might be misunderstanding, but..." Repeat, I think there might be a small mistake. Instead of "do it now," you can say, "When you get a chance." Could you? Whenever you have a moment. Please. No rush. But could you? Repeat. No rush. But could you? Now use it. No rush. But could you send that today if possible? Repeat. If possible. Now, here's a daily life area where people often get stuck. Making your point in a conversation where the other person keeps talking. This happens at work, in family conversations, even with friends. Here are polite ways to hold the floor. Let me finish this thought. Just one more thing. If I can just complete my point. Give me 10 seconds. Repeat. Let me finish this thought. Now, you also need phrases for when you want to move the conversation forward. You don't want to stay stuck. So, what's next? How do you want to handle this? What's the plan from here? What do you need from me? Repeat. What do you need from me? Now, let's practice a realistic conversation where you sound calm, confident, and advanced without sounding robotic. Imagine a coworker says, "We need this by tonight." You respond, "I hear you. The timeline feels a bit tight." A possible workaround is to focus on the main part first, then we can add the details tomorrow. Does that work for you? Now, repeat the key lines. The timeline feels a bit tight. A possible workaround is to focus on the main part first. Does that work for you? Good. That is high-level, real-life English. Now imagine a friend says, "You never reply. You don't get defensive." You respond calmly. You say, "I get where you're coming from. I've been overwhelmed lately, and I haven't been great at replying. That's on me. I'll try to be better." Repeat the key line. "I haven't been great at replying." Now repeat. "That's on me." Now, one more thing that makes you sound natural at a high level is using small, everyday idioms. Not rare ones, only common ones. Here are a few that are safe and widely used. I'll keep you posted. Let's touch base later. It slipped my mind. I'm swamped. I'm back on track. It's been a roller coaster. I'm at my limit. Repeat. It slipped my mind. Now use it. Sorry. It slipped my mind. I'll do it now. Repeat. I'll do it now. Now, quick practice. I'll give you a situation. You respond with one calm, two sentence. Situation 1. Someone is unclear. You say, "Just to clarify, what exactly do you need from me?" Say it out loud. Situation 2. You need more time. You say, "I can do it, but I'll need until tomorrow afternoon." Say it out loud. Situation 3. You need to repair a conversation. You say, "I think we misunderstood each other. Let's reset for a second." Say it out loud. Good. Now we're going to train spontaneous speaking. This is where real confidence comes from. Because in real life, people don't give you time to prepare. Someone asks a question suddenly. You meet someone unexpectedly. You have to explain something on the spot. And the goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to sound calm, clear, and natural. So in this section, you'll practice 3 things. How to start speaking instantly, even if you're not ready. How to organize your thoughts quickly. How to answer common, unexpected questions in daily life. Let's start with a simple truth. If you can start, you can finish. Most learners freeze because they don't know how to begin. So we're going to practice strong, natural openers. Here are spontaneous speaking openers that buy you time and make you sound fluent. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. Off the top of my head, honestly, if I had to say, the first thing that comes to mind is, "It depends." But, repeat, off the top of my head. Now use it. Off the top of my head, I'd say it's about practice and confidence. Repeat, "It depends." But, now, we'll practice quick organization. When you speak spontaneously, use simple structures. One reason is, another reason is. For example, so in the end. Repeat, So in the end, now, here's a high-level trick. When you don't know what to say, answer in 3 steps. Give a simple answer. Give one reason. Give one example from your life. That's it. Now let's practice with realistic questions. Question 1. Why are you learning English? A calm, fluent answer could be, "That's a good question. One main reason is I want to feel confident in real conversations. For example, I want to be able to speak comfortably at work and in daily life. So in the end, it's about communication and opportunities." Now, repeat the key line. It's about communication and opportunities. Question 2. What do you do in your free time? You can answer naturally. Honestly, I try to keep it simple. One thing I enjoy is going for walks and clearing my head. For example, if I've had a long day, a walk helps me reset. So in the end, I just try to recharge. Repeat. I just try to recharge. Question 3. What's something you've been working on lately? A strong answer. The first thing that comes to mind is my routine. I've been trying to stay consistent with my habits. For example, I'm working on better sleep and daily English practice. So overall, I'm trying to build stability. Repeat. I'm trying to build stability. Now, question 4. What do you think about living in big cities? You can say, "It depends, but I can see both sides." One reason people love big cities is convenience and energy. For example, everything is nearby, and there's always something happening. That said, it can feel stressful. So in the end, it depends on your lifestyle. Repeat. It depends on your lifestyle. Now, question 5. What's the best advice you've ever received? A natural answer. Off the top of my head, I'd say the best advice is to stay consistent. One reason is, consistency builds results over time. For example, even 15 minutes a day can change your skills. So in the end, small steps matter. Repeat. Small steps matter. Now, question 6. Tell me about a challenge you faced recently. A calm, natural answer. Let me think for a second. Recently, I've had a lot on my plate. One challenge was balancing responsibilities without getting overwhelmed. For example, I had to prioritize and say no to extra tasks. So, in the end, it reminded me to protect my energy. Repeat. It reminded me to protect my energy. Now, let's practice answering unexpected questions with calm confidence. The trick is not to rush. Use smoothness, not speed. Here are phrases to slow down naturally. To be honest, the truth is, if I'm being real, I'd say, in my experience. Repeat. In my experience. Now, let's do a quick spontaneous drill. I'll ask a question, and you answer out loud in your own words. Keep it simple. One idea, one reason, one example. Ready. Question. What are you looking forward to this week? You can start with, "Honestly, I'm looking forward to." Say it out loud now. Next question. What's something you want to improve about yourself? Start with, "If I had to say, I want to improve." Say it out loud. Next question. What's a place you'd like to visit? Start with, "Off the top of my head, I'd love to visit." Say it out loud. Good. Now, one more advanced skill. If you don't understand the question, or you need a second, you can ask for clarification without sounding weak. "Sorry, could you rephrase that? What do you mean by?" Just to make sure I understand. Are you asking? Do you mean? Repeat. "Sorry. Could you rephrase that?" Now, let's practice rephrasing your answer when you don't like how it sounded. This is a C2 habit. Let me rephrase that. What I mean is, a better way to say it is, repeat. Let me rephrase that. Now use it. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's not the best option for me. Repeat slowly. It's not the best option for me. Great. Now, let's lock in your final fluency upgrade. Sounding confident in your own voice, with calm rhythm, clear intention, and a daily practice habit that actually sticks. Because the biggest difference between B1 and C2 is not knowing more, it's being able to speak under real pressure and still sound steady. And the good news is, you can train that. Let's start with your voice. A lot of learners speak with tension. They rush. They swallow words. They apologize before they even speak. But confident English is not loud. Confident English is calm. So, here are 3 habits you'll practice right now. Slow down slightly. Finish your sentence. Breathe before you respond. Now, I want you to practice a calm, confident rhythm, using short, clear sentences. This is what native speakers do when they want to sound serious and clear. Listen and repeat. I hear you. That makes sense. Here's what I think. This is what I need. Let's keep it simple. We can figure it out. Repeat slowly. Let's keep it simple. Now, one of the most powerful confidence tools is replacing weak language with steady language. Not aggressive, just steady. Instead of, I think maybe, try, I think, I believe, I'm confident that, I'm pretty sure. Instead of sorry, but, try. Just to be clear, to be honest, if I'm being direct, I want to be transparent. Repeat. Just to be clear. Now use it in a real sentence. Just to be clear. I can do it tomorrow, not today. Repeat. Tomorrow, not today. Now, another C1, C2 habit is using neutral professional vocabulary when emotions are involved. You don't need dramatic words. You need calm words. Here are calm replacements. Instead of I'm angry, say, I'm frustrated, I'm a bit upset, I'm not comfortable with this. This is concerning. Instead of I hate it, say, I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't work for me. It's not what I was hoping for. Instead of this is terrible, say, this isn't ideal. This could be improved. This is a bit challenging. Repeat. This isn't ideal. Now use it. This isn't ideal, but we can work with it. Repeat. We can work with it. Now, let's talk about confidence in spontaneous speaking. If you want to sound fluent, you need starter sentences that you can rely on anytime, like a safety net. Here are 5 starter sentences that work everywhere. 1. The main thing is. 2. What it comes down to is. 3. From my perspective. 4. If I'm being honest. 5. In the end, repeat each one. What it comes down to is. Now use it. What it comes down to is consistency. Repeat. What it comes down to is consistency. Now, I want you to practice a C2 style answer using a simple daily topic, improving your English. Listen and repeat. From my perspective, the fastest way to improve is daily repetition and real listening. The main thing is consistency. If I'm being honest, I used to overthink everything, but now I focus on practice. In the end, progress comes from small habits. Repeat the key sentence. Progress comes from small habits. Now, let's build your daily habit, because this masterclass works best when you use it again and again. Here's a simple daily routine that takes 15 minutes and builds real fluency. Step 1. Listen for 5 minutes. Don't pause. Just listen. Train your ear. Step 2. Shadow for 5 minutes. Repeat out loud, calmly, not fast. Copy the rhythm. Step 3. Speak for 5 minutes. Answer one question about your day in English. And use this structure. Today, one thing I noticed was, the main thing I'm working on is, tomorrow, I'm going to. Now let's practice that together. Today, I had a busy day, but I managed. One thing I noticed was that I felt more focused in the afternoon. The main thing I'm working on is speaking more smoothly. Tomorrow, I'm going to practice for at least 15 minutes. Now repeat the line that fits your life. The main thing I'm working on is, say it out loud now, even if it's simple. Now, here's a key C2 move. When you practice, don't only repeat the exact sentence. Make a small change. This teaches your brain flexibility. For example, I had a busy day, but I managed. I had a busy day, but I got through it. It was a busy day, but I handled it. Repeat those three. I got through it. I handled it. This is how you move from memorization to fluency. Now, let's add one more daily habit. Building your real-life phrase bank. Every day, choose 3 phrases from this video. 1 phrase for starting, 1 phrase for clarifying, 1 phrase for ending. Here are examples. Starting. Off the top of my head, if I'm being honest, here's what I think. Clarifying. Just to clarify. Let me make sure I understood. When you say, what do you mean? Ending. So, overall, in the end, to sum it up, now pick one from each group and repeat it twice. Starting phrase. If I'm being honest. Clarifying phrase. Just to clarify. Ending phrase. To sum it up. Repeat. If I'm being honest. Just to clarify. To sum it up. Great. Now, before we close the full masterclass, I want to give you a final confidence reminder. Fluent people are not people who never make mistakes. Fluent people are people who keep speaking. They correct themselves smoothly. They ask for clarification. They stay calm. They keep the conversation moving. So if you ever feel stuck, use this sentence to reset yourself. Let me rephrase that. Repeat. Let me rephrase that. And here's another one. Give me a second. I'm thinking. Repeat. Give me a second. I'm thinking. These 2 sentences can save you in any conversation. Now we're in the final part of today's masterclass. This is where you lock everything in, feel your progress, and leave with a clear plan you can actually follow. So let's do 3 things to finish strong. First, a quick review of what you practiced. Second, a final speaking drill you can repeat anytime. Third, a natural closing that keeps you motivated and ready for the next episode. Here's what you trained today. You practiced daily life greetings and smooth small talk. You practiced describing your day with more natural, expressive language. You practiced opinions, agreement, disagreement, and speaking with nuance. You practiced explaining situations, giving reasons, and using connectors. You practiced polite requests, offering help, and handling misunderstandings. You practiced shopping, appointments, directions, and problem solving. You practiced casual fast conversation and quick replies. You practiced negotiation, persuasion, boundaries, and calm emotional language. You practiced social confidence, storytelling, emphasis, and longer answers. And you practiced spontaneous speaking, so you can respond even without preparation. That's not basic English. That's real-life English. Now, let's do a final speaking drill. This drill is short but powerful. If you repeat this drill for 5 minutes a day, your fluency will change fast because it trains the exact skill you need most, responding smoothly. Here's how it works. I'll give you a real-life prompt. You respond with one calm sentence. Then I'll give you a stronger, more advanced option. You can repeat mine or say your own. Let's begin. Prompt 1. Someone asks, "How's your day going?" Your calm response, "It's been pretty good so far. A bit busy, but I'm managing." Repeat. A bit busy, but I'm managing. Advanced option. To sum it up, it's been busy but productive, and I'm staying on track. Repeat. I'm staying on track. Prompt 2. Someone asks, "What have you been up to lately?" Your calm response, "Honestly, I've been focusing on my routine and trying to stay consistent." Repeat. Trying to stay consistent. Advanced option. Lately, I've been working on a few goals, especially improving my communication and staying disciplined. Repeat. Improving my communication. Prompt 3. Someone invites you somewhere. Your calm response. That sounds great. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. Repeat. Get back to you. Advanced option. I'd love to. I just need to confirm a couple things first, but I'll let you know soon. Repeat. I'll let you know soon. Prompt 4. Someone speaks too fast and you miss something. Your calm response. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it one more time? Repeat. Could you say it one more time? Advanced option. Just to clarify. Are you saying we should do it today or tomorrow? Repeat. Are you saying we should do it today or tomorrow? Prompt 5. Something goes wrong and you need help. Your calm response. I'm having a bit of trouble with this. Could you help me figure it out? Repeat. Help me figure it out. Advanced option. I think there might be a small issue here. Would you mind taking a quick look? Repeat. Would you mind taking a quick look? Prompt 6. You need to set a boundary. Your calm response. I'd love to help, but I can't take on anything extra right now. Repeat. I can't take on anything extra. Advanced option. I just want to be upfront. I'm at my limit right now, so I need to keep my workload manageable. Repeat. I need to keep my workload manageable. Prompt 7. You need to summarize your point. Your calm response. Basically, I think we should keep it simple and focus on what matters most. Repeat. Focus on what matters most. Advanced option. The bottom line is, we need a clear plan and a realistic timeline. Repeat. A realistic timeline. Good. If you can say these smoothly, you can handle daily life conversations in almost any situation. Now, here's your final challenge. A 1-minute real-life speech. You can use this anytime to train B1 all the way up to C2. Listen and repeat slowly, like shadowing. Today was a normal day, but I paid attention to how I communicated. I greeted people naturally, I asked questions, and I stayed calm even when things were a bit stressful. I didn't try to be perfect. I tried to be clear. I focused on smoothness, not speed, and I reminded myself that fluency is a daily habit. The more I practice, the more confident I become. Tomorrow, I'll practice again, even if it's just for 15 minutes, because small steps create real progress. Now, repeat the key lines. I didn't try to be perfect. I tried to be clear. I focused on smoothness, not speed. Small steps create real progress. Now, before we close, here's a simple plan for you. Tonight or today, choose 3 phrases from this lesson. Write them down. Say them out loud 3 times. Then use at least one of them in real life, or even in a message. That's it. Now, if you enjoyed this Daily Life English Conversations Masterclass and you want more episodes like this, here's what to do. First, like this video, because it helps more learners around the world find this lesson. Second, because we upload helpful English practice that supports your daily fluency. And third, leave a comment with 2 things. Number 1, what level you feel you are right now, B1, B2, C1, or C2. And number 2, one phrase from today that you want to use this week. I read the comments, and I use your feedback to create the next episodes. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm proud of the effort you made today. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and remember, you are closer to fluency than you think. Take care.